Tyler from Aspire Sports. Today's video is going to be running back rankings 13 through 24. If you want to win your fantasy football leagues, then you need to watch the video, draft these guys, subscribe to the channel, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you win. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Coming in at running back number 13 is going to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH. Last year, he was very disappointing because he was just drafted way too high. And then they had Le'Veon Bell come in. But let's look at his season prior to Le'Veon Bell. So weeks 1 through 6, Clyde was 6th in targets, 8th in receptions, 2nd in rushing yards, 3rd in rushing attempts, 7th in red zone rushes, and then 6th in end zone rushes, 6th with 13 rushes of 10 yards or more, and 2nd in rushes of 15 yards or more. So he was pretty solid the first 6 weeks of the season. It's just he wasn't scoring touchdowns. Then they bring in Le'Veon Bell, but there's hope this upcoming season because they don't have Le'Veon anymore. They let go of Damian Williams. They signed Jerick McKinnon. Are we worried? Me personally, no. Clyde is prepared to play on the best offense in the NFL with the best quarterback, with arguably one of the best offensive minds in Andy Reid, so draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Coming in as RB number 14, Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson was phenomenal last year, especially for where you drafted him in your fantasy football leagues. But last year, he had 29 red zone attempts, which was 20th amongst running backs, and he scored on 11 of them. Now, if we put that into perspective, let's look at Derrick Henry last year. He had 64 red zone attempts and scored on 13 of them. So there's regression here, but he should see volume to make up for that regression, which is why he's a top 15 back for me. There is still J.D. McKissic, and yes, they have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but let's not forget he's 39 years old. So I still like Antonio Gibson despite all that. Think he's a stud. That's why he's RB number 14 for me. Coming in as RB number 15 is going to be DeAndre Swift. And last year on a points per game basis in full point PPR, he was running back number 14 last year. Running back number 14, he played 13 games. This upcoming season, he now has Anthony Lynn as the offense coordinator. Anthony Lynn's previous 3 years in Los Angeles for the Chargers, his running backs averaged a target share in that period of 26%. 26%. So he's going to see a lot of volume. You know who Austin Ekeler is. Everybody loves him this upcoming season. This is a better Austin Ekeler, in my opinion, especially between the tackles, a better runner, and just as good as a receiver. So you're getting a better Austin Ekeler on a team that's projected to have a win total of 4 games. So they're going to throw the ball a shit ton in Detroit. Draft DeAndre Swift. He's going to be a league winner this upcoming season. So DeAndre Swift, number 15. Coming in at running back number 16, old reliable Chris Carson. Chris Carson, over the past 3 years, has finished as a top 20 running back. That's despite last year missing 4 games. He's probably going to miss a couple of games during the season, but can still finish inside the top 20 and be a solid running back number 2 for you throughout the season. This is an offense that has Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, an offense that just fired their offense coordinator because they're not running the ball well. They're not running it efficiently. And who do they get? They get the offensive passing game coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, somebody that's from the Sean McVay coaching tree. So somebody we have high hopes here in the fantasy football community for this offense. Chris Carson is going to be just your reliable RB number 2, is always underappreciated. So Chris Carson, number 16. Coming in as RB number 17 for me is going to be J.K. Dobbins. And this is somebody who might feel a little bit too low, but this is a guy that plays on an offense that just doesn't target the running back in the receiving game. Over the past 2 years with Greg Roman, they have targeted the running back just 12% of the time. He's not going to see receptions, so you're going to have to rely on rushing attempts, which rushing attempts in fantasy football in your 0.5 full point PPR leagues are not as valuable as receptions. It's that simple. So you're going to have to rely on rushing attempts, which he's going to be very good, and you're going to have to rely on a Mark Ingram season for him to finish much higher than this. So for those reasons, I don't like him as much as other people do, but I still love his talent. He's absolutely talented. So J.K. Dobbins for me is running back number 17. Coming in as RB number 18 for me is going to be Darrell Henderson. And yes, there's still the possibility that they can bring somebody in during camp. It's still a possibility. If they bring in a current veteran, I'm not concerned at all. Did you see the list of veterans? It's not very good. If they bring in like a Royce Freeman or a Sony Michel, there's a little bit of concern there. But still, he's going in this range with running backs that there's a lot of question marks with. So for me, Darrell Henderson plays on one of the best offenses in the league. Last year, the Rams ran the ball so much around the goal line. I expect them to do the same. And guess who led them in goal line attempts? It was Darrell Henderson, like he will this upcoming season. Is he going to play on 70% of the snaps? No, he's going to play around 60, which is totally fine on, like I said, one of the best offenses in the league that's very running back friendly. So Darrell Henderson is an absolute smash at where he's currently going, despite if they add a Sony Michel. So Darrell Henderson, number 18. Coming in as RB number 19 for me, David Montgomery. And last year in PPR leagues, he was RB number 4. He was spectacular, especially in the second half of the season. But let's put it in context. Last year in the second half of the season, he played against terrible defenses. There's no way around that. It was awful competition that he was playing against. He also didn't have Tariq Cohen. They signed Damian Williams. He's not going to have as many receptions, as many targets as he did last year. He's not going to play on as many snaps, and he's not going to have as many opportunities. He's still going to get his rushing attempts, and that's why he's still a top 20 guy for me. But to expect him to put up a season like he did last year, it's not going to happen with Tariq Cohen and Damian Williams eating into his workload. So David Montgomery for me, RB number 19. At RB number 20, Myles Gaskin. And this might be somebody that some people might think I'm a little bit too high on. I'm definitely higher on him compared to the industry. But when we look at Myles Gaskin's year last year and what the Dolphins have done this offseason, to me, it just proves that they believe Myles Gaskin is their guy. Now, is he going to play on all the snaps? Absolutely not. They did bring in Malcolm Brown, who's going to be involved in this offense, but Myles Gaskin is the better player. He's going to see majority of the receiving work, might lose some touches to Malcolm Brown just to keep him healthy because he's not that big of a guy. But last year, on a points per game basis, he was RB number 12 last year. So I believe that there's a lot of potential with this upcoming offense, a lot of playmakers if they can still stay healthy. So it should be a better offense for Myles Gaskin. That's why, for me, he's RB number 20. Coming in as RB number 21, Miles Sanders. Not a lot of people are going to like this take. He's Marlon Mack. All right, he's Marlon Mack. Why I say that is because you have Marlon Mack, which I'm not taking anything away from him. He was a very good runner, which Miles Sanders is a very good runner, but on a team that's going to utilize him like Marlon Mack, because you have the offense coordinator from Indianapolis over the past 3 years is now the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be a team that's going to use a rotation. They drafted Kenny Gainwell, who is a very good college receiving back. They have Boston Scott, who's been involved in the first team offense plenty. It's been reported. Miles Sanders has been struggling. Last year, he was the worst rated running back as a receiver last year in the NFL. Worst rated by Pro Football Focus. Sorry, guys. He's the early down back for this team on a team that's currently projected to win 6 games. So not a lot of rushing potential here. Not a lot of possible usage. An explosive player. That's why he's RB number 21 for me. Coming in as RB number 22, Travis Etienne. And this is a player he's grown on me. All right. Has grown on me since they drafted him. A player that I was big on James Robinson, so it's kind of been denial. But this is a player that in college, he was one of the best receiving backs we've seen in a while. A guy that I think is going to have like an Alvin Kamara style role in this offense, is still going to see rushing attempts, but especially in terms of receptions, is going to see a lot. This is a team that's projected to win 6 games this upcoming season. So there's going to be a lot of negative game scripts for Travis Etienne to be on the field. And you also have Trevor Lawrence, his college quarterback, is out there with him. So there's already this connection between the two. I believe Travis Etienne is going to be a borderline top 20 running back this upcoming season, especially in full point PPR. So Travis Etienne for me, RB number 22. Coming in as RB number 23 for me, Josh Jacobs. And this might not be a popular take, all right? Might not be a popular take because I'm much lower than him than the industry is. And here's why. Last year I was saying this. I was saying it during the regular season. In his splits between games that they won, games that they lost was massive. In games that they won, he was RB number 4 on a points per game basis. On games that they lost, he was outside the top 30 at the position. All right. So you have those massive splits. How good do you think the Raiders are going to be? All right. I think they're right there with the Eagles, honestly. Well, I think they might be a little bit better than the Eagles, but then you also have the addition of Kenyon Drake, who signs a 2 years, $11 million contract with this team. He's going to be involved as well. And you have a lot of people saying, well, he's just going to take Devontae Booker's role. He's a better football player than Devontae Booker is. All right. They have him moving all around the formation, apparently. So they want to get him involved. So for me, I won't have a whole lot of shares of Josh Jacobs this upcoming season. So for me, Josh Jacobs, RB number 23. Coming in as RB number 24, Javonte Williams. And no, Mike Davis isn't on this list because, quite frankly, Mike Davis isn't good at football. Javonte Williams is damn good at football and will be a starting running back in the coming weeks. Melvin Gordon is the starting running back currently, all right? Yeah, I get it. He's a 28-year-old veteran who has played a full season one time in his career. They drafted him basically in the first round, Javonte Williams. He's going to be their guy. He was considered to be the best running back by some in this draft class. He's an absolute wrecking ball. Guys bounce off of him. Like the comparison is Kareem Hunt that I saw, and that fits perfectly. Also, you had Georgia's running back say he's basically Nick Chubb, so that's high praise as well. He's an absolute stud who's able to bounce off of contact and then burst through it and get upfield quickly. His burst is great. He's able to get up to speed great. His acceleration. There's a lot of high hopes for Javonte Williams, and one big thing I'll say is rookie running back struggle in pass pro, where he was one of the best in pass pro last year, and you already have the Broncos reporting he's already good at pass protection. So he's going to start soon. Javonte Williams, RB number 24. Let me know who you think I'm too high on. Maybe somebody I left out that I should put on the list. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.